Hello, I'm Monickie Scott.
Hey, and this is your girl, Felina B. Flossin. Thank you for joining us for Five-Star Conversations as we support and encourage women on their five-star living journey. Today's show is entitled She Good. After all that, she is good. We are joined by some amazing women, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting with Lynne.
Well, hello, everybody. First and foremost, I appreciate this opportunity to be able to share this platform with these beautiful women. Thank you guys so much. And I have to commend you guys. I love what you guys do. And I think you guys are awesome. And please keep it up. Don't stop. Don't stop. So I am Lynne Jasames. Where should I start? I am the CEO of Jasames Inc. I publish 3 books. So I'm a publisher. I also do corporate trainings, a lot of corporate trainings on trauma. I train also for Clark County Department of Family Services and foster care. So I'm well versed in trauma. I did an intake unit for over 20 years where I took nothing but abuse, neglect calls. So coupled with my own experience coming from foster care, being a teen mom, being a victim of sexual abuse, domestic violence, it goes on, but that's a little bit about me. So again, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I think this is great what you're doing.
Thank you for joining us. Danielle, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here with all of you beautiful, fabulous five-star women. Women are my jam, I have to say, so I'm excited to be here. So much in my background, but for this platform, for this conversation today, probably the most relevant is I am a clinical hypnotherapist. And so with hypnotherapy, it's a little bit different than talk therapy. We kind of bypass a lot of the why we're feeling a particular way. We try to get right to helping clients feel the way that they want to feel. And so through that, there's a lot of dealing with trauma. There's a lot of trauma exposure. There's a lot of regression into past lives or our younger years where a lot of that trauma can be uncovered. And so, yeah, that's the part of me that that's the part that I'll be coming from, that's the space I'll be moving from today.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Elena.
Hi. Hello, I'm Ellena Smith. I'm the owner of Easy Days Drive-Through Mini Mart, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I'm so excited that you guys asked me to participate in this because I personally right now am going through a personal journey dealing with my past trauma. I've been on this journey for quite a while, but learning how to get past it in relationships and in business, we have blockages that kind of prevent us from getting to the next level of certain things that we want to accomplish in life. And that's where I found myself going into becoming a new business owner. So just learning how to deal with things that happened in the past. Like so many women I speak to, I was molested as a little girl, and it's too common. It's so many of us that have gone through these traumas, and our families want to sweep it under the rug. They don't want us to deal with it. They don't want us to call out the accuser, so you're questioning, who are you protecting? Are you protecting the abuser or the abused? So it becomes confusion as we try to navigate through this world that we're in right now. So again, like I say, I'm just so thankful that I'm here, able to share this with you and with your listeners. And, I think this is a wonderful thing. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, lady with a lovely hat, Miss Leisa. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I am Leisa Moseley. My professional job is the Nevada State Director for an organization called the Fines and Fees Justice Center. But what I do that I think is most relevant to this conversation is I am the author of a blog called Eat My Dessert First and an ebook that I wrote a few years back called Daily Desserts to Inspire Self-Love. It's a website, it's a blog that I write to inspire women to understand and know their self-worth and to indulge in daily desserts that help us get through life because the problems of life are always going to be there. So I look forward to this conversation.
Thank you for joining us.
And Lachey, you're on mute.
Oh, I do apologize.
Okay, there we go. I am just blown away thus far listening to my sisters. I am so grateful to be among this entire platform. But I am Leisa Johnson. I am the author of the book entitled Why Not Me? October 1. I am a Las Vegas survivor of the Las Vegas massive shooting, where 58 were killed that night, and over 4,000 of us have been injured. So I still struggle day to day, but I'm here to share and enlighten and let everybody know that it takes time. Let time be time. So I'm excited to be here with you ladies.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lachey. We really appreciate you.
And it's hard to say excited. I'm very excited that you're all here, and I am very touched that you all have your past that you're willing to share with us. And the intention of today's show is to hopefully be able to help someone else navigate through their painful past situations. So let's just start right there. How does someone navigate through a painful past? And I know that's probably going to be like, there's so many ways and you all have so much expertise, but give us a nugget, if you don't mind. And let's start with you, Danielle.
Yeah, that is, it's such a huge question. So one nugget I can say is pretty important is we need and we deserve help. Somebody to walk through it with you, to hold your hand. Someone who you know loves you, someone who you know has your best interest at heart, or someone who is unrelated to you and has no skin in the game, so to speak. I heard one of my sisters say how, sometimes family members, who are you protecting, the abused or the abusers? And sometimes when someone has, skin in the game, or they know someone related to the trauma, it can be difficult for that person to process it for themselves and also be there for you. So a trained stranger or someone who can really have your best interest at heart. I think trying to navigate trauma alone, that is not the space. That is not what we're supposed to do. I think we thrive in and outside of dealing with difficult situations. We thrive in community. We are meant to be in community, especially women. And so we need to walk through our hurt and our pain and our traumas together. That's one nugget I can offer on that point.
Thank you for that, Danielle. What about you, Lynn?
Oh, I would definitely say a starting point and a nugget is we have to own the things that happen to us. Own it, own it. You can't get past it and over it until you own it. You got to own it. I used to talk a lot in third person, like I was talking about somebody else, and working on the book I'm working on now, I caught myself like, oh, she, her, and I'm like, no, that's you. That you talking about yourself, and so you got to own it. I would say own it.
I love that. Lisa?
I think one of the most important things that we can do when we're navigating trauma is to understand that what we're experiencing has nothing to do with us. And here's what I mean by that. So many times we personalize these experiences and say, what's wrong? Why did this happen to me? And it's important that we know that the things that we're experiencing, it doesn't change anything about us. It doesn't change our value. It doesn't change our divinity. It doesn't change our greatness. It doesn't change the inherent power and the inherent value that we have. And so many times as women, we sometimes get value from those experiences, but we also think that those experiences may diminish who we are and make us somehow unworthy of love and make us somehow unworthy of even existing. So I think the starting point, a great starting point, is to understand that this was an experience that I had, but it doesn't change who I am inherently.
Wow. And Lachey, you wanted to add to that?
I would like to add, as a survivor, I felt as though my choice was taken away from me. So realizing that, and as Lynn said, own it, I had to identify, well, who took my choice away, and give that person a name and say, how can I get my power back from this individual? But I knew I could not go in my inner circle because everybody said, you're so strong, you're going to be okay. That I had to seek therapy. So I have gone into several rehabilitation centers, and I'll be going checking myself in again October the 7th through the 13th. And it's not locally. Most of your rehab facilities that are 7 to 10 days where they can get down and tear you apart, you're just walking around with a box of tissue for 7 days. They're on the East Coast. So I'm going to Nashville, and that's one of the largest trauma centers in the world.
Oh, beautiful. And to expound on that, Leisha, and I will ask the other ladies, where do you draw your strength from?
For one, I had to start going back and say, who was I? I have to believe in me. Number one, that I can pull through this. So I cannot tell you it's my parents, it's my girlfriend, it's my church. No, because there's been times I didn't want to wake up and brush my teeth, take a bath. I just wanted to sit there and take another pill and not wake up the next day. I had to say, there's more. Why not me? There is something here for you to do. You're going to have to get yourself together, put one foot in front of the other, and just make little notes to yourself. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am grateful. Grateful for what? I'm still in my home. And there's people that are homeless right now. So those little things I had to tell myself, that you may be ADA now, but you still driving, you still have your car, you can still go out. It just takes time. It takes time.
And Elena?
So I think pretty much everyone hit on some really, really good points as far as getting professional help, someone that's outside, but you have to own your past. You have to, just kind of face up to what happened, and you have to realize that everything happens for a reason, and that these things that happen to us, they mold and make us into who we are today, regardless of what the tragedy was or how bad it was. That everyone goes through different things, and we're all going to kind of perceive them the different ways, but it becomes a part of your makeup, and you can't change that. So you have to be able to use it to form you and to make you a better you, or to be able to help with, as far as helping other people. Or you have to realize what the power is that is giving to you, that you have by going through this trauma. And a lot of people don't look at it like that, but it kind of is a power, because it does help you to be able to relate to other people and help other people out that are in similar situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how much of your past still manages to find its way into your present? And I'm going to start with you, Lynn.
I mean, one thing about our life and about our mind is we have the thoughts that we have. So, naturally, sometimes our mind tends to want to go back to those areas. And what I'm personally learning, is just my personal opinion, is that I felt like I became, because I can only speak from that place because I'm not in that place no more, but realizing that I felt like I was addicted to certain behaviors and thinking a certain way. And as soon as I start switching that mindset, I start realizing, like, even if I start having thoughts, on how to counteract them real quick. So I think for me, I would think about those things just out of nowhere sometime. Or if we don't realize we could be triggered, then our past come back up because something would trigger us from something from our past. And now it's right in front of us. But I just did a training this weekend at a camp for some youth. And this is what I told them. I told them that your past only lives in your head. Because yesterday is gone. So you're keeping it alive if it's alive. And it's just from me evolving to where I've come from. So I think it's more so that it's because the thoughts and the triggers, and we used to feeling a certain type of way. So if I'm used to feeling a lot of anxiety or putting myself in a low place, my past, a lot of things that have happened, that's what takes me there. So, so my biggest thing has been, when I start feeling a certain type of way, I automatically get rid of those feelings. I would literally, you guys, make myself sit here and laugh for no reason for about 15 minutes if I have to, because I'm gonna alter it. And now it's less, but that's how I started. It felt weird and uncomfortable, but I would just make myself laugh. And now I find myself laughing all the time.
Oh, I love that. That is so awesome. And Danielle, you have anything to add to that from the hypnotherapy side, on how much of your past finds its way to show up into your present?
Yes, 2 points on that. One, sometimes our past it really can creep up on us. It can just kind of creep up on you. And oftentimes there is an experience, we call them triggers, they're known as triggers, that will trigger something. And we might not know why we're feeling the way that we do, why we're feeling angry, or why that, pricked us a particular way, why that caused, some hurt, or why was that such a tender spot for me that person said that? And we may not know it, but that's a sign to us that there's something typically from our past that has just kind of planted a seed that, we may need to do some internal work there. And then also, so it can come up, at any time, really. Now, the key is to be able to be self-aware enough that we, we don't beat ourselves up about that. We don't worry about, I haven't gotten over the things of my past. We just use them. We just use those moments as information to help us to kind of see where we are right now and how far we have grown. What area do I maybe want to pay more attention to now? So that's one. Another area of my work is with death and dying. So when I'm tending to a dying person or a dying person's family, oftentimes at the end of life, the past just kind of comes up. It comes up because sometimes children of the dying feel like they are being robbed of time to really tell their parent how they really feel. Or they are angry at that parent. And now that parent's dying and they can't really express anger. They have to be nice and take care of that parent. And so these feelings come up from childhood, and it can be a very, very sensitive, very, very sensitive time. So we have to understand that our past, it is in the past, and it's, we can't go back, but we can be self-aware enough to take those moments as information. It's all information to help inform how we're going to behave, help us to know ourselves even better. Because I truly feel like there are no negative qualities. It's just information. If I'm impatient, well, I have to know how that impatience shows up in a way that may not benefit me. If I'm, whatever my quality is, so if things are coming up and it's from my past, I can just take that as information to help guide me into the kinds of change that I want to make, the kinds of moves that I want to make in my life now. So I think the past is very powerful. I think it can be a tool if we allow it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. As you ladies were talking, it made me think about, my own dilemmas of not having my parents for the last 2+ decades. And so there are triggers, right? Like if I see a mother walking around with her daughter, or a father, the bonding of family, or Mother's Day, Father's Day, holidays, it breaks me down. And no matter what type of treatment or therapy, it's always come back. It never goes away. So I put myself on like a time limit. I'm like, okay, Felina, you got 15 minutes to cry this out and then get it together. And every couple of months it comes back, but I cry it out and I look at the time, I'm like, okay, shake it off, let's keep pushing. So, and then just regular rituals of keeping myself calm. So let me ask y'all, what ritual or routine do you do to stay connected with your inner peace going through the storms? And let's start with Lynne.
Well, I have what's called, it's funny, it's right here. I have what's called a little gratitude box. Like a spiritual box. And this gratitude box, when I tell you, I don't even have to think about anything. If no matter what I'm going through, all I got to do is grab that box. And in that box is every prayer I want to remember, every scripture I want to remember. It's rocks in the box that got like words in it that I want to affirm. I got affirmations, and it gives me a place where if I'm not in the mood to think about something, it's all right there. All my gratitude, thank yous, things I want to say 3 times a day. Like I just go to my gratitude box.
Love it. I love it. Lisa? How do you stay?
For me, it's nature. I wake up in the morning still pretty early, usually around 4:30, sometimes 5. And when it's quiet and there's no one else awake, it's just me. I make my tea and I make my way to my backyard. I take my shoes off, or I've already got my shoes off, and I ground myself. in that grass, and I connect with Mother Nature, and I commune with the trees and the birds and all that. And I feel just me, my heartbeat. Sometimes it's putting my hand on my heartbeat to know that I'm still alive and I have my value and my peace. It's everything to me. But knowing, again, I always go back to our inherent value, because I think that's so important, because there are so many things that come, whether it's our past or whatever, and I would love to go back and comment on that if I could. But it's those rituals, getting up in the morning, just feeling the energy running through my body when I'm standing in the grass and I'm talking to Mother Nature and I'm honoring the ancestors that may be buried in this ground, or who's ever Indian burial, all those things. I'm connected to that. And it reminds me that that same power that created the heavens, that created the earth, is the same power that created me. And I find peace in that. And I find peace in knowing that there's no experience, there isn't anything that could take that away. Nothing. And so that's how I stay grounded, to find my peace. And no matter what experiences that we are having in our life, I look at them as just experiences. Again, they have nothing to do with me and who I am and my value. And so that's how I maintain my peace.
Absolutely. How about you, Lachey?
Well, I'm reminded daily, because I live right here in Las Vegas. For me, I don't go on the Strip. I really haven't been on the Strip since the shooting. But with 9/11 being here, we are approaching the 4-year anniversary. I find myself not looking at TV. I certainly don't go out. And every time I think about it, I'm like, okay, what day today is? Okay, automatically my brain knows 3 weeks from now is the anniversary. So this year, I've chosen not to participate in activities because I'm not as far as other survivors are. At the beginning, when I wasn't dealing with Lachey, and Lachey wanted to help everybody else, I'm wanting to put all these groups together, therapy powwow session, walk events, and I'm thinking, okay, hold on. The therapist said, we're going to need to deal with you because you're falling. You don't realize you're falling, but you're falling. So now that I'm dealing with Lachey, I have to separate myself from other survivors that we're in the same area, meaning we're all dog paddling at the same time. We were all there, and try to deal with survivors that have gone through massive shooting 10 years ago, so they can let me know, Shay, you still got a long way to go. You're not well. PTSD is real. Trauma is real. You can't put a Band-Aid on it. You feel the way that you feel, and it's okay. Just do the breathing, and I go to bed listening to meditation music. So I try to fall asleep with that music, and then I have the app Calm. So even when I'm at work, I have to let them know, don't stress me out. I'm not good today.
Yeah.
I'm here, but I'm not present. My therapist said, just show up.
Yes.
So I'm not present. I'm showing up. I'm putting a little eyeshadow on, and I'm here. But don't come by me because I ain't right today.
You know what? Because sometimes we just got to show up. That's okay.
I just need to show up.
Yes. Ladies, thank you. We've run out of time, but we're going to continue this conversation. We want to thank you for joining us on this 5-star day. We believe in you. We believe that you're going to have a more 5-star life starting right now.
Yes, we know you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be right here with us. And so we thank you for that. We look forward to seeing you on Facebook at 5-Star Living Show and joining the 5-Star Living Show Inner Circle. Remember to laugh more and love more while taking care of your mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely. The 5-Star Living Show is sponsored in part by Flossy Flicks Photography, Monickie.com, Flossy Locks, and Meditate with Mo. Until next time, keep 5-star living.
Keep 5-Star living. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.